Hey everyone, I'm George Savaricas,
And I'm Harold Varner.
and we're the co-host of Rippin' It. Before we start this week's episode, we want to give a shout out to a couple of our very special sponsors. Harold, this is the ultimate backyard game, especially if you're a golfer. Chippo. I've played it with buddies. It is the perfect game when you're outside just enjoying the summer.
Yeah, it's going to be fun for obviously my kids soon and obviously for adult beverages.
Nothing better than to have a few of those on the line as you're making some bets with buddies. If you want to get your own Chippo, we have the special promo code Ripping It for 15% off. Go to chippogolf.com. Harold, I know I personally suck at putting and couldn't be more excited to put the perfect practice to use. I know there are a number of guys on tour have used it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. Obviously, I think everyone has it in their house. It's a really cool thing to just get people, obviously I love gambling on it. There's no gambling at Bushwood, but it's a great fun feature of the household.
The perfect practice is a need if you're just starting at golf, recreational guy like myself, even for pros on the PGA Tour. We have a special promo code to get you 15% off. It's Ripping It. Go to perfectpractice.golf to get yours today. Folks, thank you for joining us. I'm George Savaricas.
Harold Varner.
Show is called Rippin' It. We're partnering with Bro Bible. It is finally time to press go. George Savaricas alongside Harold Varner III. H, crazy to say this. We are at episode 12, our season finale for season 1 of Rippin' It. Been a fun run so far. A lot to talk about with what's happened over the last week. You're coming off a stint Memorial. It seems like you're playing 30 weeks in a row. Brooks and Bryson making headlines. We've got a good buddy of yours who's also coming off 2 wins in NASCAR driver, Kyle Larson. Man, a lot going on right now.
Yeah, crazy week. Just obviously a lot off the golf course, but yeah, I've been, the weather delays were terrible, but it is what it is. They got it in. It was awesome. I just, man, it does seem like I'm playing a lot because I am actually, but it is what it is. You just got to figure it out. I'm looking forward to playing Congaree. Obviously, it's an awesome place. I really enjoy it, but just want to play well. I'm tired of just being, making the cuts good. It's whatever, but I just want to get in contention. It's just been a while.
What was Muirfield like, and what do you think of the changes?
Oh, the changes were awesome. He says they're easier, but when the rough's that high, it's still just as hard. I think once those
easy
greens,
for Jack is.
Yeah, I think the rough. Just there's so many shots where it's just like do or die. If you hit it in there, you're not winning the golf tournament. Which I guess the only way you can keep the winning score at 13 under is to have shots like that. But it's
13 under asterisk.
Yeah, we'll get to that, I'm sure. But to keep it at 13 under, it's just you have to have shots like that. So it is what it is. I enjoy going there. I enjoy that you just get to order every time. You get to eat dinner in there. It's just they treat you so well. And obviously, being born in Akron, it's not too far from home, so it's pretty cool just to go back close to home.
You have any family still in Ohio?
Yeah, all my family's in Ohio.
Really?
In Akron. Yeah. Only my sister are in North Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Any milkshakes are the big thing in Muirfield?
Yeah, I didn't. I had one on the way out. I thought
for the road.
Yeah, I guess I think that the ones in Colonial were a little better in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big change in the milkshake PGA Tour power rankings.
Not for everyone. That's all they talk about. It's whatever. Milkshake's gonna be about the same. Ice cream and milk. It's whatever.
Well, it's if you add a third ingredient that can really elevate your milkshake.
They did put a Reese's in this last one I had.
Okay.
It's freaking phenomenal.
I was thinking something a little stiffer, but a Reese's is pretty solid.
No, I just stick to Bud Lights.
Okay, so Saturday, I'm working U.S. Women's Open feature groups last week. Was calling Lexi's round. So, I mean, obviously feel terrible for her as a viewer what happened Sunday, blowing a 5-shot lead. That grabs all the headlines yesterday. Saturday, middle of the round, I get a couple texts like, did you see what happened with Jon Rahm? And then I'm trying to follow on Twitter in my commercial breaks while I'm calling feature groups. Stunner. Crazy to see that happen on live television.
Yeah. But they had to.
Pretty unprecedented.
Yeah, I mean, they had to so that he didn't touch another fan. You know, like touching all the – I guess that was the so-called optics of it. I get it. I think the PGA Tour has to take care of the PGA Tour. But
couldn't they – and I get that. Couldn't they say, hey, John, we need you to hop in a cart with us. Let's go right now.
I don't know if that was because if it had been me, I wouldn't have withdrawn. I would have been pissed.
Totally different though. But I'm saying if you walk off and security comes up and says, "Hey John, we need you to hop in a cart with us right now," and then they drive 40 yards or whatever.
Yeah, but it still would have been on TV. Like, why is Jon Rahm getting on a cart and not going in the scoring? What I'm saying is I think that they could just let him go in there. You know, like whatever. Or I just think they should have told him on 18. This guy.
What are you talking about? Let him go in there? Like what?
Let him go in the scoring. He went in the scoring anyway. Like just let it go play out and just be in scoring. Same way when you get a drug test.
But no. If you're saying the reason was they don't want him to interact with other people, you could throw.
They don't want to interact with the fans.
Correct.
Because the people that are in there, most of them are vaccinated.
I get that, but you could easily hop on a cart, drive 40 yards. And then have the conversation.
I don't think it's very easy to get a cart right there in that area where they were. I don't like just to make it where it's not a scene is what I'm saying. Like if they would have came and got him with a cop in a cart or the same way that doctor, it would have been the same thing. Like, where's Jon Rahm going? Why is he not going to sign his scorecard?
Of course, that's going to be relayed, but to not have to have that reaction in public is more what I was getting at.
Oh, I think it would have been the same reaction is what I'm saying. I think anything.
But it's different if you're having it behind closed doors versus
the conversation. Yes, but I think the fact that the golf cart's showing up it would be pretty either obvious or like what happened there. They'd be like on national television.
But we're talking two different things here. Of course, the situation is going to be relayed. What's happened to John? For him to have to take in that moment. It would be one thing if it was under like the grandstands in that cart area 40 yards away versus being told right off the green. And then
so you're saying he should have went to the scoring. I'm totally confused because you can't get a cart in there, first of all. And then second of all, they're showing him walk off the green. So if he would have walked off the green, got in the cart where the path is, it would have been a scene in general, just saying that why is Jon Rahm going to the scoring to sign a scorecard?
No, of course that's going to be said on the broadcast. I'm saying that the scene is John not having to react that publicly to what happened.
I don't see it that way, so I don't really understand that. So I just think
that was the reaction on Twitter. So that's what I'm curious.
Oh, yeah. So
from a pro's mindset, what if you're in that situation? What would you have wanted? How would you have wanted?
I wouldn't have cared if they would have made me had to withdraw like he did. I wouldn't have cared. You're going to withdraw regardless.
It's going to suck anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like. I think he had been staying by himself anyway. So, you know, it's just kind of, it's just terrible. Could you imagine having your kid and your wife there and you're not staying with them anyway? It sucks.
Shall we welcome in our next guest now?
Yeah.
Buddy of yours?
Yeah. Pretty cool guy some days. Cool guy that I admire and just really good friends and just happy to have him on. And, he's obviously been through a lot and it's just pretty cool to obviously have him on, especially at the last minute notice like he did. So
coming off a win now, get to say hi to
3 wins.
Two in a row.
Yeah, fucking nuts.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up on Rippin' It, Kyle Larson.
You want to wake up feeling good every day? I mean, who doesn't? This product, I can personally attest, has had a huge shift in my day-to-day wellness. It's 2020 Immunity Booster, 2.5-ounce shot, handcrafted by sports dietitians, filled with essential vitamins and nutrients with none of the artificial colors or BS you see in sports drinks. I have it before I go to the range or start my round, or even just to kick off my day. Get 20% off your first order. Ripping it 20, the promo code. Go to drink2020.com.
Pleased to be joined now by NASCAR driver Kyle Larson. Kyle, normally we start guests off talking about their golf game, but damn, I mean, the last 2 weeks you've had are ridiculous. We got to start with that. You're coming off 2 wins, should be celebrating. You're joining us. What's the stretch been like to have that happen at the Coca-Cola 600 and then the Toyota Save Mart 350 back-to-back weeks? It's insane.
Yeah, it's been a good couple weeks. I'm extremely tired. Traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast is tough. So I was on a red eye last night. Didn't get much sleep. I'm running on a couple hours. So definitely tired. But when you're running good, it's good. I just wish my golf game could replicate what we've been doing on the track. I'm like pretty bad right now. I'm a mid-90s guy. So, but if I'm racing well and not golfing okay, I guess that's all right.
You can figure it out.
I don't have enough time to go play golf anymore.
It's a good problem to have, though.
Yeah.
Right now, at least.
Yeah, at least my handicap's getting back to where it should be. So, my handicap's reflecting how I'm playing, where before, I got down to like a single digit a little over a year ago, and then about that time I tanked. So I lost a lot of money. Now I'm starting to get back to the point where I can make some money because my handicap's bad.
It's strategic, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle, I remember playing with you, 3-4 years ago with the Golfer Boys and the crew with Denny, Waltrip, all those guys. Your game was pretty good then, if I remember. I want to say you were like a mid-80s guy, low to mid-80s. So
yeah. Now I'm like a high 80s to low 90s guy. I'm 92 to like 89 every time.
You're coming off your prime. You're gonna kill people with that handicap.
Yeah, I know. I kind of like living around that area.
I think so does your wallet.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that crew. That might be one of the best crews I've ever been around. But when it comes to gambling, it is not very fun, in my opinion.
Oh man, I don't know. It's a lot of work on Denny's part because he's
the commissioner.
We have our golf guys tour. There's like 20 of us, and we have 8 events. But then he composes like 160 different bets you can bet on. So we have a lot of fun with that. And, it's like our Calcutta. We had a Calcutta last week. We played up here, and God, there was like, I don't know, almost 17-18 grand in the pot or something like that. So pretty good for a bunch of amateurs.
But how does Waltrip not win it every time? He has the most time to play.
Yeah. So he was actually my Calcutta partner last week, and he shot, I think, 103 or something.
What?
He and the day before that he shot at 86. So that's Michael. He plays a lot, but he's the most inconsistent golfer, but the most fun guy to play with. I love playing with Michael. He's
a beauty.
He's really easy to steal money from, and he's just a great time because he's hilarious.
Weren't they saying that about you though recently with where your game was at?
What's that?
Easy to steal money from?
That's because I was like, my handicap, like I said, I was down to a single digit, and then I tanked, and I was like, immediately, I'm from shooting, low 80s to a few high 70s to straight back to mid 90s. So then, yeah, it took me a few months of losing a lot of money to now I'm to that comfortable spot where I can kind of maintain here and make some money.
Love it. There's a lot of exchanging of money in that one though.
Yeah, there is, but it's fun.
What are the celebrations like if you're winning a golf guys event? I mean, how much trash talking is there? What's the back and forth like?
There's a lot of trash talking between all of us, whether we're doing good or bad or whatever.
It's the best. Just tell them. I've obviously played with most of you guys, and
you played on the golf guys tour.
No, we don't allow pros.
I didn't play the
bad.
tour, but I played. We were playing at Diamond Creek at the same time, and we were like, our groups were close together, and at Diamond Creek, you can have a lot of fun, and no one knows, and you can just go live your life. It's so much fun. So I get it.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. Like I didn't play golf. I got into it probably 5 or 6 years ago now, and I've been majorly obsessed with it, and I've built a lot of friendships through it. So, I love golf.
How'd you get into it?
Well, we had our son 6 years ago. And I was like, man, this is a lot of work. I need to get out of the house. So yeah, and that's when I was
Half joking.
Yeah, half joking. But that's when I started hanging out with like Denny more, and I was really good friends with Ricky and Stenhouse, and just started going to the golf course with those guys on like Saturdays after practice, and started picking it up, and then you have a few good shots around, and it becomes addicting, and then I'm buying new sets of clubs, and traveling a lot with those guys to play, and watch a lot of videos on YouTube to try and get better, and got to a spot where I was okay compared to the guys that we play with, and yeah, love it. That's probably my favorite part about like NASCAR racing is going to play super nice golf courses.
Dude, y'all go to some places where there are some sick ones.
Mm-hmm.
So will you play during a race week, or how are those tied in together?
Yeah, so right now the way that the NASCAR schedule is, there's no qualifying, no practice, so we literally just fly in and race. So we don't get to play on the weekends because we just fly in race day and race and then come back home. But in a normal year before COVID, we would fly in Thursday night, we would practice Friday, and then if there was a big break in between first and second practice, we'd sneak off and go play 9 holes and come back and do second practice. But then usually Saturday there was only, I think practice would normally end around most weekends around like 1:00, so then we could go rush and get 18 in, and so we would play 2 or 3 times a week, where now I'm happy to play once a week.
Oh my gosh, I was wondering, it seems like y'all are racing way more. I don't know if it's just me, or I'm sure it's the same amount, but like it seems like it's like every every time I look, you're racing.
It's like golf. It's like every week.
Yeah,
golf,
I know. We make that.
Wait, there is no off season in golf. At least in racing, there's some sort of off season. But for me, you're right. There's the same amount of NASCAR races. But for like me, I still race a lot of the stuff. So I'm busy. I race like 100 times a year, so I don't have a whole lot of time. But I'll travel with my golf clubs when I'm dirt racing and try and get around in the morning.
What top 3 golf courses from the NASCAR schedule?
Diamond Creek.
What's that nearest? And say
we would go to Diamond Creek before like Bristol.
Okay.
Keep talking.
And then out in Arizona, obviously Scottsdale, like every course out there is beautiful. But
yeah, I used to live in Arizona. It's hard to beat, man.
Yeah, Estancia would be my next favorite. It kind of Diamond Creek and Estancia are like the same as far as views and stuff, but one's mountain course and one's desert.
That was my mom. My bad.
What else? I don't know what other. There's so many that we've played.
You got to sneak in. What's your third? Let's round it out. Your Mount Rushmore.
Kyle, this is so hard. I love when they ask me this question. They're like, "What's your favorite 3 golf courses on tour?" I'm like,
yeah, you guys.
And then they're putting pressure on you, like, George, right?
Say it now.
What's your third? I'm like, well, there's a lot of 3s.
Yeah, God, I don't. I mean, probably like, I don't know, Whisper Rock or another course out in Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, Whisper Rock doesn't count. That's just like fake golf.
Yeah, I said Estancia and Diamond Creek are my top 2.
Diamond Creek's just so far up there for me.
Well, when you're friends with Denny and he's got a helicopter, it's not that far.
There we go.
Yeah.
I thought being friends with Harold
we need to go soon.
Solid.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. Perfect. That place is awesome. It'll be 100 in Charlotte, and it'll be like 70 up there, and you can play like a million holes. That place is freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Who best golfer in NASCAR?
Oh.
Well, until recently, Denny. But if you look at at Argins, Ricky Stenhouse is a little bit better than him right now.
Really?
No way.
Yeah,
How's Denny
he's taking
taking
him down.
So Denny's lost the throne, I guess.
Wow.
He says he's like the
Surprising.
worst. He's the worst 6 on the planet or something like that. I think that's his quote.
He's now one for hyperbole.
Yeah.
The worst. I mean, that's another way to make money, though, if he's playing bad like that.
Yeah. I think he's kind of gone through the same thing as me, where he's lost a lot of money, but he's getting ready to win a lot.
Oh, gosh.
I mean,
Here we
it
go. This is what it gets.
balances out.
Yeah.
Balances out.
Yeah. I've recently put a simulator in. I have a shop just around the corner from my house, and I put an HD golf simulator in there. So I'm fixing to try and get better.
Oh, my gosh. You're addicted.
Legit.
You're so addicted.
H, do you have a simulator anywhere or no?
Yeah, we're working on one. It's a full swing simulator. It's badass. But I don't think I'm going to hit golf balls in it. You can, like, throw footballs in it, shoot guns and stuff.
Dude.
I mean,
Guns in a simulator.
the last thing I'm doing is
What?
hitting golf
Like
balls. Yeah.
Playing like Big Buck Hunter or something?
Yeah,
So-
you can do that on the simulator. That's way cooler than hitting golf balls in it.
So I got my golf simulator installed, and within 5 days, I tore ligaments in my foot from trying to kick field goals. I hit the ground way before the ball, so I limped on that for about a month, and then 2 days later, my son, we were bowling on there, and he's 6, and he, for whatever reason, got his driver out and was behind me and did a practice swing, and I didn't realize it. Smoked me in the lip. I had to get stitches. So
Oh my gosh.
I was like, man, this was a bad investment there for
Man, I'm so excited about my simulator, but you are like not
making you nervous now.
yeah. Yeah, very nervous
Get some
actually.
disability insurance.
Yeah. Throw your
Yeah.
arm out playing baseball on there.
Call the finance people real quick. Hey,
Yeah.
let's up that real quick. Why? Oh, to help
Need extra coverage. I
someone
got the simulator.
else. There's a premium for having a simulator.
Yep.
Oh, that's so. How far was the field goal that you chunked? That's important.
I don't even remember it. I definitely chunked it though. It was
Extra
I don't
point?
know. It was probably 30 yards and I wasn't getting anywhere close to it.
It's not going to stop you. Just being a dude, you're like, I can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I thought I broke my foot. Dude, it hurt so bad. I went and got it x-rayed like a week later because I was like, it's for sure broke. And they're like, oh, it's just some torn ligaments.
Turf
How was
monster.
it
Got you.
driving a car after that?
It was my throttle foot. It wasn't bad. Just walking around hurt.
Oh my gosh.
If it had been my brake foot, I bet it would have been tougher because the brake pedal is more like solid, where the
Got it.
obviously travels further. But
That's a bogey.
yeah, I had to put like a carbon fiber shoe insert as a splint.
Damn, Kyle.
I know it was bad.
I feel bad laughing.
I don't
now.
kick field goals on there.
I don't
That's
feel
hysterical.
bad. I would laugh at you as well.
Oh yeah, they're like something like Martin Gramatica or one of those like kickers that's injured themselves celebrating. What?
Kyle, we got to get to the good stuff. Obviously, I love you as a friend. You've been obviously great to me. We've shot the shit. What's the last year been like for you? Obviously, we've talked a lot. We obviously have our opinions, but the world obviously sometimes doesn't see it that way, and it's just how it is. And obviously, we want to help other people if they're whatever they're going through. Just what's that been like for you as I mean, I know you've kicking ass as a race car driver, but growing up as a man, obviously we've had some serious conversations over the last year. I think everyone has.
Yep.
What's that been like?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people know my story and what I put myself through last year, saying a racial slur while iRacing, and then lost my job racing with Chip Ganassi Racing and NASCAR and got suspended. And but through that, I was able to like educate myself a lot, and I traveled to Minneapolis before George Floyd's death, and then even afterwards, and got to link together with Tony Sane and his foundation, as well as some other groups, and just surround myself around it and educate myself and see what African Americans were kind of going through, and it gave me a better appreciation, or I don't know if appreciation is the word, but just a better understanding of the hardships that they go through. So now it allows me to kind of share what I've done and help educate other people, and still continue to work closely with Tony Sane and the Urban Youth Racing School in Philadelphia, as well as now being with Hendrick Motorsports, being with the Hendrick Cares program. So I've been trying to raise a lot of money to help those communities this year through my racing, and give back to those groups that help me get through it and help me learn and grow as a person too. So I've had a lot of conversations with different people, including yourself, and all those conversations have been great for me. And I'm definitely a better person than I was a year ago, which is great. And I hope through my story I can help other people too.
Without a doubt, man. You just obviously, we've been friends before any of this, and I take pride in that. I'm proud of that. So obviously, when it happened, like the thing you learn as a kid is like, hey, let's talk about it. And obviously, it exploded. I get it. It is what it is. But the biggest thing for me, that I don't know if it was a sport or I know you're a great guy, is that you got a second chance, and that's obviously you're making the fucking most of it, and I love it. But I just love that, the only way you can grow is to be able to go do it again and do it better. That's how you learn as a kid how to walk. You fall, you get back up, and you do it better. You walk longer and further. And I'm just, dude, man, I'm so proud of you. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. It gives me goosebumps talking about it. Like literally the last 2 weeks have been, pretty awesome for me. Like I get off to it. I love, obviously everyone loves winning. Everyone loves a winner, but just how you respond to adversity and things that are happening in this world. And I had to get that off my chest. I think it's fucking awesome.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I'm glad I got to meet you a couple years ago playing in the Pro-Am at Quail Hollow, and now we're friends and can have cool conversations about what we've all been through.
Yeah, every time I hang out with you, though, I keep spending money. You give me a boat, we start gambling. I mean, maybe I should just only talk to you on the phone.
yeah, right.
Kyle, question for you, and as you share your message, and having met you, you're very easygoing, soft-spoken guy. And you look at your story and your background, like making your way up through, I believe it was NASCAR's diversity program. And then to have that situation unfold where you make a comment like that off the cuff, when you analyze how that happened, what do you then share with people so they don't make the same mistake?
Yeah, it was obviously really embarrassing, because I did come through the diversity program, and I'm half Japanese, and my family's had racial things. I haven't personally, but my grandparents and stuff have. So it was really just dumb and embarrassing. But yeah, I think you're just learning that, especially somebody in my position, but not only in my position, anybody, you're a role model to a lot of people, whether you might not know it. And you always got to represent yourself that way. So I think going forward for anybody, they can learn a lot off of me without me even having to say another word. They can see my situation, be like, man, I don't want to make that same mistake. And I think now that I have that second opportunity back in NASCAR with a great race team, I can do a better job and be a better role model and a better just person all around, that somebody can look up to.
With the run the last couple of weeks that Harold was talking about, and you win back-to-back weeks, I'd say your only fail, the celebration this past Sunday. What happened with the combination of red wine and wind apparently isn't the best.
Yeah, so I won a lower series race there in 2014, and they do the same. They give you the same trophy thing, where you drink the wine out of I think it's called the goblet. And there must have been no wind that day, because I did it. I drank it, and I shot this cool waterfall thing out of my mouth, and the pictures looked awesome. So I was like, I'm gonna do that again. And I didn't take in for count, the 30-mile-an-hour crosswind.
You needed a caddy there.
And yeah, exactly. And I sprayed it all over the track president, who's a lady, who I know, she used to work in NASCAR. So I felt terrible. So I'm going to have to get her like a hair appointment, pay for that or something. Buy her another outfit.
That's awesome. That is great. Hey, but when you're winning, you can.
Yeah, if that's the only mistake I make yesterday,
you'll be all right.
So I've seen like Harold get in zones before for 9 holes, 18 holes, like a weekend, whatever. You see some golfers, it could be a month, whatnot. For a NASCAR driver, like the last 2 weeks, are you in a zone? Do things change when you're actually inside the car when you have a stretch like this, or what has to happen to go on a run?
Yeah, I don't know. I think for sure you can definitely get into a zone, and I'm sure Harold's felt it where it's just everything seems natural. You don't have to think about it. You don't make mistakes. It's just easy. Not that winning is easy, because it's never easy, but I think you do the little things right without even thinking about it, and that's what kind of makes a difference. So, I've definitely been in. I've had stretches. Last year when I
last year was
last year I got
come
suspended and went back and did all my dirt race, and I ran, I think 96 races, and I won 46 of them. And
I don't want to cut you off, but
that was like an unbelievable, kind of like I showed up to the racetrack every night and expected to win, and that's just a cool feeling to have. And I'm not there right now, but I know what that feeling's like, and I can hopefully get back to it. But it's cool to be winning in the Cup Series and going back to back 2 weeks in a row, and then winning on a road course is something I've never done before. So it's been cool.
What race was it where you were like, it's the one that went viral. I don't know
where I passed the guy on the last lap.
Yes.
Last corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the greatest. No offense to NASCAR, that was the greatest race I've I was invested because I knew you, but it was just unbelievable. It was racing, I got a chance. I'm running out of time. How's this going to happen? And obviously there's a dirt track maybe 5 minutes from where I grew up. So we would go, obviously the guy that we have this place with, he has a dirt car. And so I have an idea of what's going on and understand just how important it is to us. You're not, just because you're sliding doesn't mean you're not moving. People just think oh, he's just sliding in that turn, hitting the gas, sliding. And it's the opposite. You're hitting the gas.
It's going in circles. Yeah.
So that was one of the great, I watched it and he showed it to me and I just couldn't, you watch things and sometimes if it doesn't get your attention in 20 seconds, you're like, all right, cool. Next video. And I watched the whole thing. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a wild race. That was if we're talking about the same one, in North Dakota last year, the guy in second, I kind of got into him the week before and won, and he was upset. So I think it was a little bit of payback, but he got into my rear bumper and kind of spun me through the infield, and I kept it going, and there was 3 laps left at that point, and I was able to track him down and just barely squeezed by him coming to the checkered flag. So that was definitely the coolest win, most exciting win of last year.
That was insane because I love you and all, but I didn't think you were gonna win.
Yeah, I didn't either, but I was gonna win it or wear it. I was gonna try.
Similar to Harold, first TV job was in northern Wisconsin. I was covering dirt track racing all the time and very familiar with how that's kind of the lifeblood for a lot of racers coming up in the sport. 5-6 years ago, I went to 24 hours at Daytona, which I thought was just bad. It's such a unique race to watch compared to what you normally see. To actually be a part of it, how would you describe it for a fan who hasn't experienced it?
It's totally different than what I grew up doing. Obviously from dirt tracks, dirt ovals, then to NASCAR ovals, and then going to race a sports car in a 24-hour event in Daytona Beach, Florida. It's different, but I'd been to Daytona obviously and ran some NASCAR stuff, and then I got to run the Rolex 24-hour race 3 years in a row. And it's the craziest thing to me about that event was that you're in Daytona, like not that nice of an area, like not pretty.
Yeah.
I'm
When
used
you
to
think
like
of Florida, you
NASCAR
don't
people
think of
there.
Daytona.
Yeah, I'm used to like NASCAR people there, drunks and this and that, and a lot of American race car drivers. You show up for the Rolex and like you feel like you're in a different country. There's more people from different countries there speaking totally different languages. Like there's a lot less Americans at Daytona.
Yeah, it's an international field.
Yeah, and two, they have this like big for all the teams and drivers and mechanics. They have this big tent that's like a huge cafeteria. And you'll go in there and it's open 24 hours. You go in there and get your food. You'll sit down. There's a bunch of tables lined up like a school cafeteria. And you'll just sit down and like, somebody next to you will be a Formula One driver, and across from him is like a badass IndyCar driver. He's won the Indy 500 and stuff like that. You're like, man, feels like you're in a dream. But it's cool, and I'm glad that I can say I've won that race before and have a watch to show for it.
That's sick.
That's badass.
The only thing that's
cool.
terrible about doing a podcast is I always forget what I'm going to ask you.
Wait, Harold,
I couldn't have a podcast because I'm like, I'm not quick to think of things.
Me either. Did you notice?
No.
But Harold, you're never short for words. You're able to recover.
Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's bad.
It's boom or bust, my friend. Boom or bust. Being part of like a team that's had this type of run, and after this, we'll ping you with a couple golf questions and then call it a day. How do the expectations then elevate for the rest of the season?
I don't know about the expectations. I just think we need to continue to work hard to keep innovating and trying to make our race cars better, because each week every other team is also getting their cars better. So we can never, I think when you're in this position, you're winning, it's great. You're having fun in the moment, but you can't get complacent and get lazy, because the garage area there in NASCAR changes week by week. And somebody else, 3 weeks from now could be sitting in my position dominating. So just got to keep preparing and working hard and studying, at least, my position, studying as much as I can, and just trying to be better and better each week.
Just go take some names, man. This ain't got to be a political answer. Just go keep beating ass, because your biggest cheerleaders right here. So.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I mean, that's my goal. I
know, dude. I literally follow racing because of you and MJ's team.
Yeah.
I literally just like, oh, how'd they do? I'm sure people do the same thing. Oh, Harold shot fucking 80 again.
I got you under my favorites that I follow on my PGA Tour leaderboard. I saw that T47 last week.
Held it down. A little bit of grind. Yeah. Yeah, didn't win.
Man.
Where do you play next?
I'm going to Congaree. Have you been down there yet?
Where's that?
It's the sister course of Diamond Creek.
Really?
Oh, brother, whatever you please.
What is it called?
It's called Congaree. It's in
outside Savannah, Ridgeland,
South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's you would never go there except to play Congaree.
Yeah.
That's about it. It is badass, man. I'm obviously super fortunate to be a member there or an ambassador. So I'm super biased, but I've had some unbelievable experiences. It's same setup as Diamond Creek, just in South Carolina. Oh yeah. Yes, same thing. Obviously they do this thing though where they're like raising they basically, like, when you join, you like donate to this foundation, this LLC, to basically help kids get into college and play golf. And they come there for a month and they get free clubs, they get instruction, they get opportunity to play golf.
That's awesome.
It's sick.
So is there a tournament there then, or are you going to like?
Yeah, so RBC, like, you couldn't play in Canada, but you can play hockey. No comment, but you can play hockey. But they couldn't do the tournament, so they basically, Congaree
stepped in
and just basically filled in the week. And I couldn't think of a better place because I get to drive there.
Yeah,
it's gonna be awesome.
That's cool.
Awesome. I'm already thinking about it.
Be hot.
I don't know what I can do in this seat, but a Bud
It's
Light,
going to be
a
swampy.
little bit of thought, I might can do it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you guys played?
It's been a while, man.
I've only-
We talked on the phone more than we played. That's for sure.
I've only played with you the one time, I think, at Quail. I
Yeah.
was at Diamond Creek that day that you were talking about.
You weren't when they were all there hooping and hollering. I mean, I was hollering.
No, but my buddy actually was my best friend who I must have been busy some days. So he went there and I remember him telling me that, yeah, Harold was, you were either in front or something. He's like, man, that guy's loud.
Yeah,
Sounds about right.
But he was saying
That's
you're
my
cool as
place.
heck. Yeah.
I love that place. I just love places where you can let loose.
Yeah.
You can be you.
You won't offend anyone.
Not stuffy.
You can gamble. Yeah, exactly. Just treat people like people. They treat you like, oh, hey, Harold's here. Like, whatever
Yeah.
you need
Have
to do.
fun.
Yeah, and Congaree's the same way. I'm sure Denny knows about it. We'll have to talk to him and get a trip down there or something. Yeah, that helicopter will go right in there.
Yeah, perfect. He can land right at his house, so it's perfect.
That setup's pretty legit.
Funny money. Funny money.
Let's do a few rapid fire golf questions and then wrap it up. Does that sound good, H?
Yeah, lowest score.
76 at MJ's course last year.
Damn, the Grove.
I don't want to change the subject, but what'd you think?
I like it a lot.
The
It's
environment's
open.
insane.
You don't really lose the ball, and yeah, the clubhouse area is awesome, and all the swag too. I think we all get more excited to go shop than to go golf.
Cocktails on the course.
Ooh, I'm not really a drinker when I golf because I have a hard enough time.
Yeah.
The one time
I'm the only one.
Well, no, I'll drink, but George, you could beat me if I start drinking on the course.
I know that's the only chance I have. We've talked about it.
Yeah, and everyone's learned that.
Who's up, Varner?
Yeah, I can't do it. I don't like doing it.
It's especially if it's hot, man.
Yeah, after the round, I'll definitely drink, but not during.
Ever had a hole in one?
Nope, never. Not even been close.
Really?
Ooh.
I don't think I've
5
I
years though
haven't
is
even
short.
birdied
Like,
that many par threes.
it took me 20. I had my first home run when I was 26.
Wow.
So I mean,
I think someday I'll get one, but I don't.
You will,
see-
my
I
dad.
think
I
it's
thought
gonna
you said
be like
Sunday originally. I was like, calling your shot.
I'm gonna roll it, and it's just gonna hit a rock or something, and I'll get lucky, and I won't even be that excited about it.
my dad's made 4, and he can't hit the center of the club face sometimes.
Dang.
4?
Yeah, he's made 2 on the same hole.
Wow.
I had my only hole in one was at Congaree.
10, right?
Yeah.
I
Only
only
one.
had one eagle.
Number 10. Only one eagle? All right.
Yeah.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I hold
made-
out
Hey,
from 100.
One is better than 0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true story. True story.
Yeah.
Favorite? What race have you not won
Ooh, this is good.
that you would want to win the most?
The
Because you've won some pretty
Bristol-
big ones. Like for me, like Coco 600 is like everything. Growing up, like we went and hung out there, like didn't shower. It was great time. It's a big deal in Charlotte. But which
to me,
one?
the night race at Bristol in like August or whatever is the one that I like. I want to win the most because it's my favorite racetrack, and I'm always.
What do you think about it
fast
being
there.
on dirt?
It
You
was.
can be honest. I think it was a terrible
okay.
race
It was
to watch.
the first 50 laps were a blast, and then the track got kind of just chunked out and dusty, and you couldn't see, and my car was tore up at that point. But the NASCAR's stuff, I think, is just our cars are just too heavy for dirt racing, and the tracks can't handle it. The tire's not very good. We have windshields, so we can't really have moisture in the track because our windshields get covered in mud and the grills get covered, so the engines overheat. So they have to have the track so dry and dusty that it's not good for the fans, and I don't think it produces the best racing.
I agree because I actually watched that one because I've seen dirt racing and just
I mean,
That
it was
wa-
cool.
that
Like, I
wasn't
think
it.
the fans enjoyed it because it was something different, but I also think if they continue to go and not make it like a dirt car where you can actually have the track a certain way, where it's got grip and stuff and not dusty, then I think fans will get burnt out.
Oh, got it.
What would be more tiring, NASCAR race or walking 36 in Charlotte in the middle of August?
NASCAR race.
I don't
Telling you,
know.
NASCAR race. Oh,
36 though?
It depends on how you're
games
playing.
the
Like if
other
I'm
day.
playing good or if I'm racing good, they're both not hard. But if I'm racing bad
So
and
true.
playing bad,
So true.
it's a grind and it's miserable and you're wore out. But I don't know. I would almost say walking 36 holes in the middle of summer would probably be harder.
Damn. You hear that, Harold?
No, we're going to find out how we really feel. Do you think golfers are athletes?
For sure. I think I
my
heard yours where you said they're not,
Harder.
but
Yeah.
I didn't really agree with it because, dude, you guys everybody's working out nowadays and training.
Working out. Look at this thing. Look at
You're
that
the
thing.
exception to the norm.
Yeah.
Look, working out. All right, here's my dilemma. The other day, we had to play 11 holes before dark. We played 11 holes. I was bouncing, skipping across some water, floating through the mud, whatever. And they didn't have shuttles on number 2. So we had to walk from number 2 to the clubhouse. When you get to stop in between, it's not a real workout. Like, what workout do you just get to chill for, 2 minutes? It takes forever for 3 people to hit a golf ball anyway.
Yeah.
That's my dilemma with the whole deal. Like, I was out of breath walking up this hill to the clubhouse. Because that was a continuous walk. I was pepping it. I had my butt into it. Like, my grandmother was walking up this thing. I was out of breath. But when you get to take a break in between, it's just not a workout.
I think what you guys have to do to prepare is what makes golfers an athlete.
Yeah, what? Smoking Bud Lights and smoking.
I just think all the
5 irons
hours
out
you
of
guys have to put in during the week, like athletes, that takes a lot of dedication.
I appreciate your concern in that, but listen,
And I'm terrible at golf, so I think because I'm not athletic is why I'm not good at golf, because golfers are good athletes.
There we go. Score one for us.
I don't get it.
Last one, Kyle. We're giving you crap over your celebration this past Sunday. What's your favorite celebration from any race that you won?
Oh.
And it doesn't have to be on the track. Could be the night of.
Ooh.
Ooh, indeed.
When I was dirt racing full time, we would rage every night, and I would be hungover all next day and go race again. And
the glory days.
There was the night that I met my wife. It was a week-long event at my home track in California, and I won a race on Thursday or Wednesday, whatever, and then we were all partying that night and whatever, and I think I was probably trying to show off for her, and I ended up getting wasted, and she and a couple of my other friends, obviously I was passed out, on the ground, in bad shape, and they colored all over me. They outlined my hairline with Sharpie, and I didn't know it. So the next day at the driver's meeting, they're like, "Hey man, what's this on your hairline?" I'm like, "Oh my god, they Sharpied my head," and it was the back of my head, so I couldn't see it. But
that was the first night you met your now wife.
Yep.
What a great introduction.
Sometimes love is
there's
blind.
There's a lot more of that night that I can't really speak of, but
we'll leave it there. There's some things that are just best to leave.
I gotta. Maybe this is a subject off camera too, but I want to hear your opinion of the Brooks and Bryson.
Fired up. This is easy.
Yeah,
I love
what we got?
So I think they're a bunch of 2-year-olds, and Bryson had an opportunity to crush them all. If he wouldn't have said anything, don't say a word, I think he would have won.
Don't say a word
after it happened. Just don't say anything.
Oh, about the hecklers?
Just no. Like when that video came out.
That he's living in his head rent free.
Yeah. And then he just kept going. And then, with the new $40 million thing, I think it's pretty genius. For $40 million, I would purposely make sure you didn't like me to make $40 million. That's just my opinion. That's what I think. But it's pretty funny. When's the last time golf has been on outside the lines?
Yeah.
What, Tiger Woods? Either,
Yeah.
he wins 4 majors in a row. He's on outside the lines with Bob Levy, whatever his name is. It's incredible. What's his name?
Bob Lee, the general.
Yeah, I think he retired
now.
but whatever.
Yeah.
He's on. Golf hasn't been on outside the lines in forever.
Yeah.
Forever. It might make it again. 2 weeks in a row. So
I thought it was pretty funny. I'm a huge Brooks fan. Like I like Brooks's attitude and all that. Like he's not your typical like straight-laced golfer.
Yeah.
But I do actually think Bryson might have had the edge up a little bit.
And that's what everyone's
You
following.
score that one to Bryson.
I do score that one to Bryson.
But the kicking people out because
Yeah.
they called you Brooksy, I'm just out on that.
I would like if that was me, I would laugh. Like that's
Yeah, it's
hilarious. I
funny.
would play along with it.
He can't handle it. Can't handle the truth.
Well, and then if you react,
thought it was
then it
awesome.
just gets worse.
Yeah, correct. And then, I think you should, like, pull him to the side and be like, hey, man, can I get you another Bud Light? It would be so funny.
Yeah.
Like, if I ever get that good, I'm going to,
I guess with golf though, like if I was in his position, and you maybe not this way, but like, you want it silent when you're hitting the ball and like the whole time you're pulling the club back, you're probably waiting for somebody to say Brooksy. It'd be hard to focus. And that's where I could see where you'd want to.
Yeah, but if someone did that, they would get kicked out for being
Yeah,
idiot.
that's true.
But these people are getting kicked out because he's walking to the next tee and they're yelling Brooksy. Like, oh, timeout, bro. And then Brooks just hit the icing on the cake. That was
his
great.
video, yeah.
I think it's great for golf. I don't think the tour likes it. I don't think Bryson likes it. And I think Brooks doesn't care. And it's in a perfect spot. It's something golf hasn't seen in a long time, and it's getting played out in the public, which is even better. It's great. It's like watching The Bachelor, like every night. What's next? Come on.
Yeah, what's next? I know. I can't wait. They're both on the Ryder Cup team, right? Like it'd be awesome if they could somehow team up with each other.
The U.S. Open needs to pair them together.
Oh yes.
I don't think the tour's not going to do it, but the U.S. Open has the right to do it.
I've heard it's being discussed.
Yeah, this is how whack golf is. Listen to this. They're not going to play together.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they'll do it.
Just let it play out. They'll be fine. They're cordial. They can talk all they want, but when it comes down to it, no one's going to get over there and just smoke them right square in the face.
Yeah.
No one's going to do that. That's just that's the beauty of. That's why people want to be involved in golf. It's like professional.
Mm-hmm.
But
that'd be a good heavyweight bout though. Them two, they're big boys.
Yes, dude. All these celebrity fights. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I know.
Do you guys watch on Sunday or no?
I didn't. My flight.
I was flying, but I caught like tweets about it, and it didn't sound that great.
Logan at least went the distance. Floyd nailed it. This is legalized highway robbery. For how much money he made out of that. That's what he called it. He said, going into the fight, this will be legalized highway robbery because I'm going to make $50 to $100 million for an exhibition.
Yeah, but I will say I don't watch much fighting or anything like that. I actually wanted to watch it just to see.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say it. I
did too.
Sitting here, like I was like, if it had been another boxing match, I would have been like, yeah, probably I can miss that.
They're
watch
good
that
promoters.
Unless it's Anthony Durrell, our guy.
Yeah, I'll watch him because I know him now. Yeah, but
episode 4.
It's hard to get into it, man. They just sit there and they just like, especially since these boxers are like dying. Like, like, come on, bro. Like, I ain't cool with no one dying over any amount of money. Like, I went from like, it'd be like me playing golf and then all of a sudden being like, you died after 18. I probably wouldn't play. Oh, they're fine. You're fine. Come join the show.
Mom's home. Barner.
Come join the show.
I halfway told the story about the night we met.
That's a great story, by the way.
Yeah, he says true romance is
only about you coloring on my hairline.
So here's the greatest part of every show. It's time for you to go, bud. Mama's home.
Yeah. You have to leave now, but you can't stay here.
It is time for you to go. Go kick some ass next week.
Yeah,
we'll play golf this summer, and we'll talk soon. Thank you again for coming on. And
appreciate it, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Keep doing what you do, dog.
Yeah. Well, you go hit the gym and turn yourself into an athlete.
Yeah, exactly. Walking so hard.
I hear it all the time. George, you're living in Miami these days. You got to have some late nights and you wake up, you're not feeling too hot. Not true, and I'll tell you why. Tempo. Total game changer. Tempo supplements guarantee you're never going to miss a beat thanks to a formulation of natural ingredients and essential nutrients. 2 versions of Tempo, Hungover AF, which I've taken, natural hangover supplement, and coffee, a supplement for clarity and focus. Check out both at trytempo.co. That's trytempo.co. Find your rhythm with Tempo. Use promo code TEMPO for 15% off your order.
Second NASCAR driver we've had on the podcast, and I mentioned got to play golf with him and the golf guys like 3 years ago, and just such a chill guy to hang with. Can see why you two guys have become good buddies. And it was telling me back then just how into golf he was getting, and you can tell he sucked.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a stud of a guy. I mean, I just think he's just a good guy. You know, I've been around him, fortunate enough to know him. I hate that he makes me spend money sometimes, but just, obviously he's been through
Makes you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harold, you have to get this boat.
Yeah, exactly. So I just blame it on him. It's a great guy. Just, he's been through more than, I guess, a lot of the world's been through.
Put himself more than.
Oh, yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, but the world makes you go through some stuff than just actually being able to talk about it. Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, whatever. But just enjoyed his time on there. Pretty cool of him to talk about it. Just fortunate enough to know that, if it wasn't for the world, you would have to just call someone and actually have a conversation instead of do it publicly. Most of the time you have to learn in public to be given a second chance. And for him, I've been able to be that person that, we were going to talk regardless of his second chance or not. I think we all make mistakes, and it's very easy to judge what someone else did, especially in a, celebrity world we live in, instead of just looking at yourself in the mirror and figuring out a way to help that person. So super fortunate to be on his side.
Well said. Well said. I had mentioned this in the conversation with Kyle. You shared kind of your stance with Brooks and Bryson. Are you as a guy who's played with both of them and knows both of them, what do you think of how it keeps bubbling and building?
Like I said, I think it's awesome. I think both of them are going to win that $40 million thing unless Tiger comes back this year.
Tiger could live stream himself hitting chip shots in his backyard.
And he would win.
He would win.
So it's very it's interesting. It's pretty funny though. I kind of like it. What else? What else do we have to talk about?
What do you think most guys on tour, their reaction to it is? You think the younger guys are okay with it, and the older guys maybe a little more resistant to it, or what? Any gauge of the temperature?
I think it's more about if you're a traditionalist versus cool with whatever goes. I think if you're a traditionalist golfer, I think you hate it. It's not what the sport's about. It's about being super professional. And I think if you're you don't really care, like myself, I can be whatever you want me to be. Just let me play your golf course. Then I think you don't really care. But it's pretty funny. I like watching The Bachelor. I like reality TV. A lot of it's funny, so it's even better. I just think they should just box it out. But they won't. Both of them are harmless. Golfers are harmless. No one's going to just straight up just get knocked out. Ain't nobody crazy like that. We don't play a sport like that, and it's just it's great for golf. It's great for golf.
There are some golfers who are a little on edge, but I don't know that the caddies are more likely to throw it out on the players.
Without a doubt, on edge and actually doing something is two big differences. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we're in that phase, and it's great. It's the reason why the PGA Tour can go sell everything is because when it comes down to it, they can be professional around each other.
Well,
I just hope they get paired together in the U.S. Open. That's all I really care about.
Oh, it'd be awesome. I mean, get your popcorn, get the Bud Lights ready.
Yeah.
Like what golf needs to decide, do they want to be a real sport? Because this type of trolling happens in other sports. Competitors trash talking each other. This
every
happens
sport except golf.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
golf
Needs
has two schools of thought. You have kind of I don't want to say younger generation, but I think you and I are wired similarly, where I'm okay with this. And then you have the quote traditionalists, which golf in the U.S. has operated from an exclusionary, elitist standpoint, where you have old white guys saying this is how you should act to play this game, and that's how it's been for the last 100, 150 years. So they're very resistant to change. They want people to uphold these traditional values, and these traditional values didn't let people like you play on the PGA Tour to like 40, 50 years ago. So now to have guys like trash talk each other, which you see in other sports that aren't as cookie cutter white, I think people bristle at, not to make it like a totally racial undertone to this, but I think if golf wants to be a real sport, then they have to be okay with guys trash talking each other. If they don't, then the tour is going to step in.
Without a doubt. I think honestly, it just comes down to do whatever. Where like, say you want to go to Pond Valley, you're gonna wear your jacket and you wear it and do it. Don't bitch about it. Fucking do it. They've held this standard. They've done this. Do it if you want to play. If you don't,
it's a private club. You should.
On. And
you should. Correct.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it should be like that. And I enjoy my Gasto Municipal. I can wear gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I enjoy Pond Valley because it's hard. It's a challenge. And I enjoy the people that have taken me there. And, I just – that's the way I think it should be. I think it should be wherever you go, accept their rules and just keep going about it. Whatever.
Did the video go too far at all that Brooks put out?
No, the video made it exactly what everyone's thinking. And that's the coolest thing that I can say. Like, I think everyone says, like if we were just talking, like everyone says, like I'd say this, I'd do that. Brooks does it, and I think it's freaking awesome. He's great for the sport. He's funny. I think he's great for the sport. You need those polarizing individuals to make it go. I mean, during the rain delay, we were talking to Bryson, and he's like, no one listens to me. And I'm like, Bryson, there's 10 golfers here that are really good at golf, and we haven't said a word because you're talking. Like, people listen. Yeah, so I think it's great. Whatever. No, I think it's awesome. Like, literally, it makes me laugh when you ask. I'm like, what's next?
Well, what are your interactions with Bryson like?
I've only been around him during this rain delay that we had this week, and it was interesting. It was interesting, to say the least. But, I mean, he's a human just like me. He's just really good at golf right now. Holy cow.
Yeah, from the golf standpoint, we've talked about it. For him to be that comfortable to go down this wormhole of not only the same length irons, but then to change his body and put in all that work where you open yourself up to such ridicule if you fail. It takes like courage in a sense to do that strictly for how he's approached his golf game.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, actually. I don't know why he would, but whatever. I don't know. I look more forward. I look more forward to the next video or tweet more than.
When are you gonna trash talk someone?
I trash talk everyone. I just do it to their face. It's way more fun. Yeah, I don't need to get on Twitter to talk shit.
What's the best zinger you've delivered inside the ropes?
Ooh. A lot of it's with my caddy. So last week, this is just recent. I made him 10 everything, no matter how far it was away. And he's like, if you make it, I'll 10 it the rest of the, on 10. He's like, I'll 10 it the rest of the week. And I'm like, all right, come on, dog. I'll bust that ass. I'm going to make this. And I freaking missed it. So then I have like a 30-footer on the last hole or whatever far it was, 25 feet, and just jokingly I was like, "Hey man, 10 that. That's the only way I'm gonna make it." He's like, "I'm not 10ing shit."
You ever trash talk Tiger?
Every chance I get. Every chance I get.
Any
Yeah.
memorable ones that you snuck in there? I mean, he's got a trump card to play on you.
A lot of them that I won't share.
What's one that you can? We can keep it family friendly.
I have none. I mean, yeah.
You're so boring. I got none.
I am boring. I'm boring as fuck. Yeah, I'll be boring.
What's a good line that you've heard when someone's trash talked to you?
That every time Colt had a great one. He's like, "Do you just say fuck you every time someone talks shit to you?" And I was like, "Most of the time. That's how it starts off." And then literally, next week, a couple months, I was like, "Yeah." I start realizing that's my only comeback. So then I had to start thinking. So I remember that when I first got out there, he used to say that, and I was like, fair enough. So now you actually have to think before you speak.
Oh, so Colt actually roasted you in a positive way.
Colt can't roast shit. He just get the hell out of here.
He's pretty good.
Depends on what level he's on. If he wants to put you in the ground, he'll cement you there or try to.
he will go down swinging. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone should though.
All right, listener questions. Oh man, I wish we could show this picture. It's you holding a Johnny Manziel jersey. This tweet's from
great.
From August 21st, 2014. Your line: join the money team today. First jersey I've ever bought. # money. Do you still have that jersey?
I still got it.
You still got your Johnny Manziel jersey?
Yeah, I mean he was a baller in college, and everyone can hate on him for him talking and everything, but at the time, he's a baller. So I went to the Nike place and got a jersey. I actually saw him play. I went to
pretty good
Cleveland.
stick.
Yeah. So
all right, we got 20 of these, so let's rip through them. Favorite course to play recreationally?
The Muni, Gastonia Municipal. It's called Catawba Creek, but whatever.
Why do players putt with a glove on?
I don't. That wasn't. Yeah, great question, I guess.
Has your online behavior changed in any way because of Pip?
No. I try to stay true to Harold. I think Pip will do well if Harold wins.
When did you start speaking in the third person? That's a George question.
Since I feel like every time I do it all the time.
I know, but I doubt you at ECU were like, "Oh, well, yeah, Harold's getting ready for his college event next week."
I hope I didn't, but I probably could have. You never know with me.
Yeah, you probably getting your ass kicked if you were talking that way at ECU.
I know, but everyone's had a good ass. Well, not everyone, because obviously our world's.
You had yours in high school.
I've
you
had
told us.
plenty. Mine come from my parents though, which sucks.
You coming back to so yeah? When did you start? Once you got your PGA Tour card, then all of a sudden your third person comes out.
Yeah, made a little bit of money. I was like, I like this.
You coming back to Cromwell and the Travelers Champ? Would love to have you back.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That's from Frank Curtin. Jeff Black, chipping for Bird. What was the moment that allowed you to pursue the dream of being a PGA Tour pro?
What dream? Say it again.
What was the moment that allowed you to pursue the dream of being a PGA Tour pro?
There is no moment. I just kept playing golf, and once I kept, you play in tournaments and you figure out if you're getting better or not getting better. I wish it was one moment because I could write a book about it, but there's not.
Jeremy Hutzlar just bought the 11 Concord golf shoes. I'm obsessed. What are your favorite J's to golf in?
3s, and 11s are right up there. I'll be wearing them all next week.
If you hit the power lines at Gaston Municipal, re-tee with no penalty?
It's all no penalty. I already saw someone answer that.
Yeah, so that's accurate. No plan as it lies there.
Yep.
How much of a ladies' man was at Chazzy Fizzle 8 at ECU?
No comment.
Is
Yeah.
that another next question?
Yeah, that's the next question.
From John Peterson. This is great.
This is good.
Shout
I'm
out.
not moving to it.
I feel like a dick right now.
Why?
What's their pod again? For the people.
Oh, don't be. That's not just because you didn't. How are you a dick because you didn't know? That's what I don't get. That you're not a dick because you didn't know.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Who gives a shit? You mess up sometimes.
Give him a shout out. We're all friends in the pod game.
True.
Step on each other's throats, but you still respect them.
True.
How fast is your riding mower going? How many beers does the yard take?
I don't know how fast it goes, but it has cruise control, and you can polish them off because there's no trees. You ain't got to turn. You just haul ass.
You still practicing on the jet from Rusty McIntosh?
Practicing on the what?
He said, you still practicing on the jet? Come on, man.
Oh, no, from the video? No, I ain't practicing on a jet. When I start flying on a jet, you'll know. I won't be practicing golf.
From Ben Castle, the one place on earth you haven't been that you want to visit?
Alaska.
Dude, Alaska's sick.
I've never been, and I've saw some awesome. I mean, it's a little bit of recent. Somebody showed me a cruise they went on, and I was like, I just want to see it.
Let's wind it down. That was our questions from the viewers of Rippin' It. And that puts a bow on our season 1. Still working out when we were going to bring things back for season 2. Busy summer schedule. Hopefully sometime in July, we will keep you updated on when Rippin' It will return, hopefully in the near future.